what's going on, everybody? Jason here, Metal Till Death. One of my last videos, I gave you a review of my Jackson guitar. I will be doing one of my Ibanez bass, but for now, I'm going to start a series on what you need and what you need to do to start your own recording studio at home, specifically for heavy metal, but it'll work for rock and other genres also. There are three basic things that you need to get going in home recording. I've spent the last couple of years really delving into this and building this up, and I have wasted a lot of money. So in order to help you guys save money and get straight to the things that you really need to do some professional recording right off the bat and not spend a whole lot of money, we'll get to those three things. Some things I am not going to take into account of the cost, like guitars, because everybody buys different guitars and they cost different amount of money. But I'm going to show you the three major things you need, and let's get right to it. Okay, everybody, here we go. Number one on the list is your recording program, your DAW, your digital audio workstation. Pretty important to have one of these. As you can see from the meter on there, I'm actually using this right now to record the audio through OBS for the screen recording. But I highly recommend Reaper. You can go to Reaper.com and download it. It's free for about, I want to say, around 3 months or so, and then you do have to pay for it. It is a trial. However, if you need to pay for it, for the homeowner version, it's only $60. So can't really complain about that. $60 is not a lot of money, and they continue to send you updates whenever it needs updating. Had a few issues updating it, but it could just be me because I'm an idiot. But I've used Cakewalk before. I've used GarageBand. I have used Acid. I have never used Pro Tools, so I can't speak about Pro Tools, but I can tell you that Reaper is used by a lot of professionals, and in my opinion, this is the easiest to use, just the way it is set up. You can throw all your plugins right here. You can just open up a track for any instrument you want, no matter what it is. When a lot of recording programs, you will need a certain type of track, whether it's a virtual instrument or guitar or vocals. This one track will do everything. It's very, very simple and easy to use. So number one on my list is your recording program, and I do recommend Reaper. I think it is probably the best out there. Okay, second on the list is your audio interface, which you really need. This is going to make or break your recordings. You can try to get away with it. I tried for a year not using one of these. I used a mixer, or I plugged directly into the back of my computer, and no matter what I did, everything sounded like crap, and there was a bunch of background fuzz and noise, because this is audio interface is basically designed to give you that professional sound. This is the exact one that I use. It's $110 at Guitar Center. However, you might find one of these locally for sale used. You might get around $60, $80 for it. But this is the exact one I use, the Focusrite Generation 3. You've got a XLR input on one side. You got your 1/4-inch jack for your guitar on the right side. You have phantom power for different types of mics and so on. You have the direct monitor button on there, which you click that button when you plug in your headphones. You can hear your voice or your instrument through your headphones. I'm no expert at all these buttons on here. However, this is the one I use, and it works really well if you're only running one or two things in there at a time. If you plan on miking an entire drum set, you are going to need at least an 8-channel interface, and you're going to be looking upwards, starting at $600. But just for starting out, I highly recommend this one. Third on your list, one thing I think a lot of people overlook is some really good studio monitors, speakers for recording. You might ask, why can't I just throw up some Sony speakers? Well, you can. I've actually used some Cerwin Vegas. I used some Onkyo speakers. These are the exact ones that I use, Presonus Eris. They're very small. They might be 8 inches tall, if that. The speakers are only 3.5 inches. The woofer's only 3.5 inches. These things pack a lot of punch, I can tell you. These sound like they're 8-inch woofers. They are loud. They have a lot of bass. There's bass and treble, which I can actually click right here. There's bass and treble on the back. these are just really, really good. Probably the best, cheapest ones you can get. And studio monitors are actually, in a way, designed to make your music sound like crap. They're very flat sounding. They accentuate every single frequency. And the reason they do that is so you know what frequency to get rid of. Thus, you improve the sound quality of your recording. Anybody can just hook up some really nice speakers, but really nice speakers are technically already EQ'd to make your song, the music, sound good. You technically don't want that when you're recording. You want to hear all the crap in your song. You want to hear all those bad frequencies so that you can get rid of them. You can EQ them out. But anyway, if you're on a budget, number 3 on the list is definitely these. These are the only ones I have ever used. I have nothing to compare them to. I was really leery about them because they were so cheap, because everybody said buy expensive ones. But when I plugged them in, I was blown away at how good these sound, especially when you're on a budget. So for $100, you can see here on Amazon, you can't go wrong. I highly recommend these. You can always spend more money and get better ones, but if you're on a budget like I was, I definitely would go with these. Okay guys, really, those are it. Those are the 3 things you need to start recording. One major thing I did not mention is a computer, which you obviously need to record at home. One of the main reasons I'm not taking a computer into an account is, just like the guitars, everybody has a different computer. I would highly recommend getting an iMac or an expensive Dell. However, for a couple of years, I recorded on a $250 cheap freaking Dell computer, using Cakewalk at first, and then, I used Cakewalk, also Acid. And if you're only doing maybe 5, 6, 7 tracks, that should work no problem. If you are going to use a cheap computer, I would highly recommend that you dedicate it to recording and wipe it and factory reset it, and only have a music recording program on there, as it will cause a lot of CPU usage. I spent a lot of money on this iMac here. It was basically, the beginner model was about $1,000. And even then it lags. If I have songs that are around like 15 tracks or so, it will start to lag, especially if, you know, there's a lot of people using the internet and Wi-Fi and things like that. So I can't really take a computer into cost, because most people already have a PC at home, and you know, there you go. There's also a whole lot of other small items, odds and ends, such as guitar cables and picks, and maybe different types of microphones. There's buying different types of strings, things of that nature, maintenance that comes into. I can't get into every single little thing that you need, but you will find those things later on that you need, and take that cost into consideration. But those are the 3 major things you need to get a very, very good clean sound recording, really any type of music. If any of you guys want me to go in depth on how you set all this up, leave a comment, let me know. I'm not going to go into too much detail on where you plug in wires and things like that. You guys should be pretty capable of doing that, and there are YouTube videos for setting that stuff up as well, like your audio interface and your studio monitors and things like that. In any case, I hope this helps you guys out, especially if you're beginners. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money. $270 is pretty much all you need to spend just to start and kind of get going. And you can make some really, really nice sounding songs with just that equipment. That's all I use. I use the same exact stuff I just showed you guys, and you can go on my channel and listen to the songs I've done. I may not be the best musician in the world, and certainly not a very good singer, but the sound quality is very, very good in my opinion. But that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, stay tuned for more videos, and stay metal out there.